best. That was 2.5 gallons of Rotella in the power steering reservoir, because that's what the sticker says. It takes 1540, just regular motor oil. I gotta turn this bus around now. So let's fire it up. That's the most driving I've done in this thing in 10 months. While I'm waiting for Google to go ahead and pay me so I can buy some stuff to finish out the outside, rather than sitting around and watching Oprah, I thought I'd come out here and start, cleaning the inside of the bus out, scraping the foam off the ribs, and getting this thing ready for framing. I've got all the steel, the original steel for the ceiling, and I thought about just putting it on and then creating a flat, sealing a bulkhead to run wiring and all stuff for the solar and all that crap. And I tried putting it up by myself, and it's a pain in the ass, really. So what I've decided to do, I'll show you. So I've measured out 18 to 20 inches. I haven't determined how far out I want the cabinets, but somewhere in that neck of the woods is where the overhead storage compartment is going to end. So the inside of the storage compartment is going to have the original steel. And I just figured it, you know, I got the material, it's there, I'm going to use it. And then the only time you'll ever see it is when you open up the cabinet, and who cares? So I'm busy right now cutting that stuff up. You know, I'm rough cutting it into 2 pieces. I got them all stacked in a pile the way they came out of the bus. So I'm unstacking them, numbering them right and left, putting the 2 halves in separate piles and running inside the garage and cutting them to the final length on the stomp shear so I have a nice straight cut. And then I'll start putting that stuff in. And then, yeah, I'll start running. This weekend I'll start running some framing and some wires, and I'll get the rest of the paint. Probably finish up the paint this weekend, hopefully. Hopefully. I think a friend of mine's coming out this weekend, I hope. And if he does, then maybe he'll give me a hand, or maybe we'll just go out and screw around. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm working on today. Next. Alright. I gotta put a clearance light, at least a wire through. The clearance light goes out here. I'm gonna have to at least run the wire and get that hooked up. Alright. Back outside. Alright, there we are. A couple days later. And both sides. So, overhead cabinets. The other thing I'm working on is this cabinet here. This is bolted to the inside of that cabinet. This is all the fuse panel and stuff. That had, if you remember, that had like it's not a 45-degree cant, but it had an angled cant, and all the switches were kind of on an angle. And I've eliminated a lot of the switches. I don't need them. There's a few in there that I'm probably going to keep, like what's this? Defroster, passenger heater. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of the strobe. Fan, I can keep that one. Heated mirrors, I don't need those. There's another fan switch. Passenger heater, I can get rid of that one. Pump, I have to keep that. So I probably need to keep like maybe 4 or 5 switches, and I can get a pre-wired rocker panel switch with a USB charging port and a 12 volt, 2 12 volt charging ports, or a 5 volt charging port, and whatever. So I'll show you in a minute what I'm doing here. I'm getting rid of that cant, making it flat. I'm gonna put some cup holders in there, and I'll end up upholstering that. But I got my paint supplies. I'm ready to go on finishing the paint. Went out this morning and got all the stuff, and you can't tell now, but it was blowing a gale, so I couldn't do any masking until later this afternoon. It's about 1 o'clock before I get on this. But it's masked off, and tomorrow morning-ish, depending on when it warms up, gets above 50 degrees, I'll come out here and wipe it down. I gotta mask off that rear compartment yet, and I gotta open this so I can spray the inside of that, mask the inside of that off, and I'll be spraying, at least spraying a primer tomorrow. My friend Martin should be I think he might be coming over tomorrow. If he doesn't, I'll do the paint. If he does, I'll wait till Sunday. But here's that that panel I was talking about by the driver's compartment. You can see how it was canted. So the top of this panel was on an angle, and I'm making it flat now. So I got to make the top piece, and I'll probably end up finishing the top of this in wood. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe wood. Maybe I'll just upholster it. We'll see tomorrow. Bright and early.